Is the second half of life better than the first? Ellen Warner has been a photojournalist for decades, and in 2006, she started a project of photographing and interviewing women over the age of 50 from cultures all over the world.
The result is a unique book that offers us insight into the meaning of life, along with great images. It's called The Second Half, 40 Women Reveal Life After 50. And good morning, Ellen. Hi.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I wonder if that meaning changed from culture to culture, or maybe from someone who was 55 versus someone who was 75.
Well, I don't think it really did. I mean, I suppose that when you're 75 or 85 or 95, you have more to add to it. But I don't think so. Everybody seemed to feel that the second half was better than the first, and that was exciting. I didn't necessarily expect that.
You know, I was just reading different excerpts of different people that you talked to. You talked to a wide range of people in all different cultures. I'm just pulling out a couple that were interesting. One woman who shoes horses for a living. She says she has had a lifetime of loss, and her takeaway is that now she no longer feels fear.
Yes, I think that she said she no longer feels as though she's tumbling around in a dryer. And I think that a lot of women felt that way. You know, by the time you reach 50 or 60 or 70, you've had a lot of disappointments, and you know that you can survive, and that is a great strength.
I saw this trend of just people feeling more confident and not, worrying what other people think so much. Was there anything you saw that surprised you?
Well, I think it surprised me that the second half was better than the first.
Huh.
You know, I was in my early 50s when I did this, started it. And, so many younger people fear the second half of life. And really, it's a time when you can focus on the things that you're really interested in. There was one woman in France, Perle Servan-Schreiber, who actually you just showed, who said that when you're younger, you want to do everything. It's this and that. But as you get older, you have to learn to renounce and choose one thing or another. And when you're in your second half of life, you pick the things that really you care about, and you do have confidence. And again, that's a great asset.
Yeah, it was also interesting, I think a couple of people you talked to talk about how annoying it was the older they got, that there were some women their age that were trying to look like a 20-year-old. And in this youth-obsessed culture, did you find a lot of women that were trying to be younger?
Well, actually, not in the women that I interviewed and photographed, but they did say that. And Olivia de Havilland, for example, says, you've had every other age. Now you have a new age, and that's exciting, and make the most of that and not try and pretend you're younger than you are.
Well, and on the flip side of that, and maybe I have this wrong, but it just seems like a 60-year-old today was not the same 60 as my grandparents were.
Absolutely.
And how is that manifest in the comments and how they see the world? I'm sure they recognize that as well.
Yes. Well, I think that it's a totally different story. If you look at, for example, our parents' generation, everybody was dressed in black when they were older, and they seemed terribly old. And this is the first generation where people who are in their 80s and 90s can do the same things that people are in their 50s as long as they're healthy enough. That's the important thing.
Do you have one favorite quote from one woman that sticks out the most?
I really don't. People always ask me if I have a favorite, but I love all of these 40 women. They each have something that's different that they bring to the table. And I can't think of any particular quote. Well, Lama Yeshe, who is a Buddhist Lama, said, "Everybody has power. Use your power wisely and compassionately." And a lot of the women in the book felt that they had been too judgmental when they were younger. Mm-hmm. And that as they got older, they realized that life was difficult. And you can't judge people so harshly because they go through a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's fascinating. The book is called The Second Half, 40 Women Reveal Life After 50, and you can find Ellen in all the usual places. There's the information on your screen. Ellen, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Ellen.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, Mike.